Alright, bro, so since y'all want to talk about it, I guess I'll go ahead and make a video on it. I really don't want to address this because I do feel like it's a nonsensical conversation. I feel like there are other fights for both of these fighters that makes more sense to me from a logical standpoint and what the landscape of boxing is right now. But just like clockwork, Devin Haney fans tend to be so insecure, bro. Tend to be so fixated on Gervonta Tank Davis and his fan base that they can't help but to try to find some way to attach the two to each other. As is Bill Haney. Bill Haney's on his Instagram talking about Tank Davis and things of that nature. So fine, bro. Let's have the conversation. Devin Haney versus Tank Davis at 147 pounds. Let's talk about it. Smash the like, sub to the channel, share the video. We're live Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday night at 7:30. Also live Sunday mornings with the Singing OG KQKC Boxing Network. Sunday mornings, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. Join the channel as a member. Drop super chats when you come by the live streams that we do. And if you want to debate me, you can always email me at knockoutboxing86@yahoo.com. And also, please hype up the video and hit the like button, especially that hype button, man. YouTube got that new feature where you can hype up the videos of the content creators that you rock with the most, and it really helps us in the algorithm. It allows our videos to get recommended more on people's home pages. It increases the reach of the channel, and a lot of great things come when our channel can reach different people that haven't ever seen our channel before. So please hit that hype button, and it's free for you. You don't have to pay nothing to hit the hype button. YouTube gives you 3 of them per week that you can use at your discretion. So if you're rocking with me, please hit that hype button. But let's get it cracking. So enough people have brought this to me to where I feel the need to make a video on it, make some content on it. And it's fun to sometimes just shut down noise and shut down ignorance with logic and facts and common sense. And that's what we have here. So as always, Devin Haney becoming a 3-division champion. Devin Haney having a good performance against Brian Norman Jr. It was a good B- performance. He got the win. He got the W. Became a 3-division champion. He did very well on Saturday afternoon last week. But just like clockwork, that's never enough. That's never enough. Devin Haney fans and these knob-gobbling content creators that lead the charge of these fans, it's not enough, bro. Like, there has to be some sort of way to tell lies, push false narratives, and lie. And specifically, that always has to find its way into, let's figure out what lie we can tell on Tank Davis for some reason. I've never seen anything like it, bro. Tank Davis versus Jake Paul, absolutely trash. Garbage fight. Horrible move from Tank. We got fights that we definitely want to see him in more than that. Nobody's been clearer on that topic than me. But there's a difference between criticizing people when they deserve criticism and just flat out hating and lying and pushing narratives on people. And this is another example of just a fan base in the Haney fan base that's disingenuous. A fan base, the Haney fan base that's cap artists, narrative pushers, and care more about an agenda than actually pushing for fights that make sense, pushing for fights where there's a level of truth involved in it. And let me tell you what I mean. So what I've heard multiple times on my channel now is, oh, Devin versus Tank at 147. Tank was going to fight Jake Paul at 195. Why can't he fight Devin at 147? I'm not saying he can and can't fight Devin Haney at 147. What I am saying is that it don't make no sense. Because in doing so, let's talk about the Jake Paul situation first. Number one, Jake Paul was a trash circus fight. Trash, circus, garbage fight, bro. And Jake Paul being willing to give away stipulations and things to Jake Paul brings far more money, far more business to the table than Devin Haney ever has or ever will for Tank Davis. It's a much bigger star. He's a much bigger draw. The guaranteed money that Tank Davis was getting, Jake Paul was bringing some of that to him via Netflix. He was bringing something to him. When it comes to Tank Davis and Devin Haney, Tank is bringing the bag to Devin. Devin ain't bringing nothing to the table. You're talking about a fighter that fights across the world. You're talking about a fighter that fights in the middle of the street. You're talking about a fighter that hasn't been the headline or a main event since April of 2024, bro. So giving away certain advantages to Jake Paul compared to giving away certain advantages to Devin Haney, that's crazy. What has he done to earn those types of concessions, bro? What has he done to earn those types of considerations from Tank Davis? And let's just be real. I think Tank knocked out Devin Haney easy. No issues. However, Devin is way better than Jake Paul. He's a way better fighter than Jake Paul. I think everyone would agree. Way more experienced, way more accomplished, been boxing since he was a little kid, way better than Jake Paul. So you bring less to the table. You don't bring me to business, I'm bringing you to business. And you're a way better fighter than the other person, but I'm supposed to give you more concessions than I gave him. And Tank and Jake Paul at the negotiation table, they looking eye to eye when they making a fight. Tank Davis is 5'4", still looking down on the 5'8" Devin Haney when they talking about negotiating the fight. One has a network, the other doesn't, bro. I can't believe I have to explain this to y'all, dog. One is clearly the bigger draw and bigger star, while the other one is fighting on undercards consecutively now. And the thing that they both care about is weight. The thing they both care about the most is weight. Tank Davis cares about weight in the form of, let me make sure that you close to my size come fight night. You're not about to outweigh me by 30 pounds. So I'm going to put a hydration clause on you. I'm going to put a catch weight on you. Devin Haney cares about weight in the form of, let me cut down and skip 3-4 weight classes. But then I come in, even though I'm the one moving up in weight, I'm coming in the night of the fight 10 to 15 pounds heavier than you. So yeah, I'm the 135 pounder that's coming up to 140. But Regis, when we get in the ring, I'm gonna weigh 170. I'm gonna weigh 165. You weigh 155. I'm gonna weigh 165. Like, what are we talking about, bro? So the thing that they both care about and covet the most, Devin Haney and his fan base and his daddy, y'all want Tank to give in to the fighter who doesn't bring any business to the table, bro. The fighter who counts on the generosity of a dictator in order to get his bags. They not built the same, bro, when it comes to this shit, man. One of them gets their money because of the interest that they garner. The other person gets their money because of the generosity of a dictator with a hidden agenda. It's nonsensical, bro. It makes absolutely no sense. So if we're going to talk about Tank versus Devin, which I don't want to do, it would have to be at a catch weight. Something that is feasible for both of them. And probably going to be more in Tank Davis's favor as the A side. And all that's going to do is put y'all in a situation where you're going to take credit away and make excuses and cry. And so forth and so on. And I find it funny that talking about Tank versus Lamont Roach or Tank versus Hector, it's, oh, he's trying to pull up a smaller man. He's pulling up a smaller man. But then in the very next breath, you're talking about, and that's 5 pounds from 130 to 135. But then in the very next breath, them same people are having conversations about Devin Haney trying to pull somebody up 12 pounds. Having conversations about Devin Haney waiting on other fighters coming up, like Team Alifu, like Shakur Stevenson. So one fighter pulls up fighters from another weight class, y'all got a problem with it. But another fighter can pull fighters up more weight to another weight class, and y'all think it's great. Y'all are crazy, bro. Absolutely crazy. Shit makes no sense. Devin Haney need to be focusing in on a potential Ryan Garcia rematch. If he can't get the Ryan Garcia rematch, he should be worried about what the heck is going on at 154 pounds. Or perhaps a Conor Benn fight at 147. Ain't nobody checking for no Devin Haney versus Lewis Crocker, bro. Ain't nobody checking for no Devin Haney versus Rolly or no Devin Haney versus Mario Barrios. And the only reason that people such as myself are even checking for Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia still, even though Ryan Garcia lost to trash-ass Rolly, is because of what Ryan did in the ring with Devin their first time. And there's still a lot of questions there, bro. Other than that, ain't shit at 147, bro, other than him trying to pull some small fighter up. or fighting a bunch of trash champions in one of the worst divisions in boxing, bro. That's it. So, y'all wanted my take on it. Y'all kept asking about it, kept coming by the damn chat. No, bro. Tanking Devin makes no sense at 147 pounds because it would take the person with all the leverage giving up everything in order to make that fight happen, while the person who brings nothing to the table between the two gets to be comfortable, have all the advantages. So just think about this. What you're asking for is for Tank to give Devin his highest ever payday. Give him the weight that he wants. Give him none of the stipulations that he wants. While Devin gets everything. Who would do that shit? Y'all are the same people, bro, that when Devin was trying to exercise his little bit of leverage over Brian Norman Jr. and make him test when he wanted him to test, make him sign up for the type of testing that he wanted him to sign up for, y'all understood that shit then, bro. Y'all understand leverage and A side, B side when you want to. When you want to. When it was Devin and Team Alifu, and they was talking about that 50-50 pay-per-view split, then y'all want to talk A side, B side. But regardless of whether you hate, love, loathe, whatever, y'all know who the clear A side, B side is in this equation that we talking about. But y'all don't want to recognize it right now. Y'all continue to be a bunch of hypocrites, bro. I would just respect it more if everybody would just come to me and say, look, KO, I'm not going to have any consistency, bro. I'm not going to have any integrity. When it suits whoever I rock with, that's the stance that I'm going to take. So if the fighter that I rock with looks great in a fight, I'm going to talk about how great he looked and how well he performed. When the fighter that I rock with doesn't look great in the fight, I'm going to talk about winning is all that matters. When the fighter that I like is the B side, I'm going to act like the business of boxing doesn't matter. But when the business of boxing is in my favorite fighter's favor, I'm going to act like the business of boxing does matter. Just come by, say that to me. Let's put our cards all on the table, because I give y'all the justice of letting you know where I stand, bro. I don't like Turkey Al-Sheikh. I let you know that ahead of time. I don't like Devin Haney. I'm not a Shakur Stevenson fan. I don't like Bud Crawford, bro. I rock with David Benavidez, Jesse Bam Rodriguez, Gervonta Davis, Abdullah Mason, Jerome Boots Ennis, Virgil Ortiz. I like Arthur Better Beef. I like Yoenli Hernandez up at 160 pounds. Oslis Iglesias is growing on me. Jai Opataya is one of my favorites. Moses Atuama is one of my favorites. I can't stand Tyson Fury. Right? When Earl was active and relevant, Earl Spence was my number one guy. When Deontay Wilder was active and relevant, Deontay Wilder was my favorite heavyweight, bro. I let you know where I stand. All I ask for y'all to do is give me the respect of doing the same thing. But quit hiding behind boxing, acting as if you not picking and choosing, contradicting yourself, pushing narratives, lying, and all this old extra goofy stuff, man. Because I see through all of that, and I'm going to continue to call y'all out on your BS. But y'all let me know what y'all think. Comment below, smash the like, sub to the channel. We'll catch y'all on the next one. We gone. Peace!